Hi everyone, welcome back to the BOPS podcast. Today we're here again in the Solano Community College studio. I'm Bria, this is Dime, Tianeh, and Maryan, and today we are finally filming the last body episode of the podcast. Woo! So first we just want to say thank you guys so much for joining us on this journey, and today we just kind of want to talk about some looking back on the podcast, things we thought were good, things we want to improve for next time. If you guys want to do a podcast in the future, some things you can learn from us, and then some roads we just didn't travel, and looking back on what we could have talked about. So to start us off, Dime, what do you feel like what did you like about the podcast and this experience?
Well, first off, it's really cool to actually get into content creation, because I know for you and I, at least, that has been something we wanted to do since it.
For sure.
You have been doing a little bit. You dabbled a little bit in 5th grade, and then and then middle school was I want to be a YouTuber, which is every child nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years ago, I got into streaming, and now we're here producing YouTube, and we're actually getting to learn about the whole process of editing, and we get to use things like Adobe, which we wouldn't usually have access to because it's a lot of money that I can't afford. It would just wouldn't make sense, but we get it through our school, so it's kind of cool to get that, have this as an excuse to dabble into those.
Yeah. T?
While I wasn't editing like you guys were, I definitely enjoyed the conversations we had during our podcast. I feel like the topics we talked about were very important and personal to us, and obviously we didn't have any problem coming up with ideas or talking for long periods of time, so I just really enjoyed talking with you guys.
Yeah, similar to what my friends have been saying, I really enjoyed this whole process, especially doing senior project, because honestly I did not want to do this alone. I think it was very nice to share this experience with 3 of my closest friends and talking about topics that are really personal to us. And I feel like we got closer during this process, and I just really enjoyed talking with you guys.
Agreed.
Bria, do you have anything to add?
For sure. Like Dime said, I really enjoyed the learning process of the behind the scenes stuff, because I actually, along with dabbling in social media content creation, I also want to go into media production as my career, making documentaries and stuff like that. So it was really fun to learn the behind the scenes and get my foot in the door with this kind of stuff. I definitely enjoyed that. And also, it's always just a good time talking to your friends, yeah. Especially if you can talk to your friends and get a good grade for it. Yeah. We really did the 1-2 punch with that. Yeah. And so I just think, I really hope that everyone else got the energy that we got from this, because I had a really fun time with it.
I do want to say, being in a group project has helped me very accountable this semester.
Yes.
And being at our class that we have to take.
Right.
I have friends who have not started their projects, which is guys.
We have a month left.
Not even.
So it's just I get to be yeah, I'm glad I'm in a group project to hold me accountable, because I feel I would have gotten it done at some point, but also it would have been very different from this, and probably would have been a very different quality.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I definitely think that doing a group project was the move, because I know a lot of people before we started were kind of hesitant about letting us do this as a group, but I definitely feel we created a better end product as a group.
For sure.
And also, I just, with what we were trying to do, having the editing piece and then also the promotion piece, it really was a lot easier to break it up into different jobs. And also, I feel we all contributed to this equally. So it wasn't even a problem of person X is doing more than person B. It did feel equal, and also much easier.
Yeah.
Because I also see the scale of some of our peers, their projects, and while I think that is incredible because I feel
they're able to accomplish that. It's
right. I feel the seniors this year really went all out with the creativity with their projects, but me personally, this has been a really hard semester, so I don't know if I would have been able to bring this project to its full potential by myself, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. And I also wanted to add something to that.
Bless you, ma'am.
Bless you.
Everyone bless her.
that like without having access to like this studio, I feel like our podcast would not have been
Rough.
It would
Yeah.
have been very different. We would have
Yeah.
been using probably your
My
Mac.
phone.
No,
To edit.
Cause
Oh,
then, Because
Use your
be like
tripod
20,
setup.
15 YouTubers, you know how they always, I use iMovie to edit.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
here's your college essentials.
Yikes.
Well, now that we've discussed that, do we want to talk about things that we wish could have been different during this whole process?
You know what? I'll start on that piece. I do wish that we had more time, because and we'll get into this later, of course, the things we wish we could have talked about, but there was a lot more I wanted to say about the different things, but we only have so much time, and we're not like streaming, so
Yeah.
the episodes have to end at some point. So it is kind of a bummer, knowing that we only have so much time left in this semester
Yeah.
to film. And some of the things we want to talk about just won't be able to be given justice. So that is kind of a bummer, but
Do you have anything to add, Dime?
I mean, along with that, there's so many things that, like, during Bria's episode where we talk about consumerism, capitalism, there's so many things that I wanted to talk about, but, like, as the conversation was flowing, like, he'd be like, oh, well, back to this. It's
Yeah.
kind of one of those things where, because there's a lot of us, 4 of us, like, it's not in just what I want to talk about in the conversation, but again, that has to do with time, like, and it probably, if we wanted to cover everything that I wanted to talk about just because I wanted to talk about it, that would have to do with a lot more structure and a lot more, instead of a sit down and talk about it, it would have to be like I'm gonna teach you guys about this, and you, like, it's not like we didn't have that,
Yeah.
but it would have to be like strictly that, which isn't really the feel that we're going for. But even then, I'd love to like continue talking about things that we didn't get to talk about.
Tianeh, you have anything to add?
I just, going off of what Dime was saying, I feel like when we started this podcast, we wanted to have like a bunch of content, like a bunch of like mini-sodes and like main episodes, but like our lives are very busy, and I think we also underestimated like how long it takes to like execute each episode, like from start to like finish, like after editing. So I think that was just one thing that I wish would have happened, like more like mini-sodes and more like fun content. But then again, we all have busy lives and
Very
can't
busy.
carve out a bunch of time to film.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Unfortunately, if
Yeah.
only we got paid to this. Go ahead, my
It was.
PayPal
I think it
below.
was just a lot.
Get
I
out.
also underestimated like how like mentally draining social media can be. Like yesterday, we were filming like a day in our lives, and I've been filming a day in my life today, like for the BOPS pod. Which, by the way, you guys should all film a day in your life too.
We should.
So I think that should be done and put on the TikTok. But like constantly bringing out your phone like every second of the
Feels
day.
weird.
Not only do I
Yeah.
feel weird. Why? Why do people do that? I just don't get it. I feel like it's
make
just too much
money.
work. Maybe it would be easier if I didn't have a lot of other work to do, like
Right.
math and science and life.
School.
You
But
just have to come back after college.
I
and be
think
like,
if I was just like doing social media, I think it could have been more fun.
I want to say something on that piece, because I'm like a ghost or ninja on social media. Like sometimes you'll see me and when I'll appear and then I'll just disappear.
back.
30
And, like,
stories in one day and then nothing for a month.
That's what I was about to, like, very
Literally.
recently I went to an event, and then I was like, oh, this would be very good content. And so
Yeah.
originally my plan was to film a mini-sode. But while I was at the event, I was just kind of enjoying myself.
Exactly.
And, like, you don't...
You don't want to pull out your phone. Like, you want to be in the
Exactly.
moment.
And
You know?
exactly, and we're not completely an influencer mindset, so our first thought isn't like, oh, this is
gotta break
Like-
the
my
moment.
phone.
Yeah.
When I see people, influencers who constantly film like what they eat, like what they do, I'm just like, do you guys not feel weird just like pulling out your phone and just like staring at it
Right. It's like, and then like
and talking to it? Like,
talking to your phone, and like when I got home, I was like, you know what, I won't do a video, I'll just do some stories for my Instagram. And I always do a lot of stories, which we've mentioned before, but like as I was doing it, and it was like very, very influencer, I was like, after I finished, I was so like drained.
Yeah.
And so I
So
think about
weird.
YouTubers who like go to event, like their whole thing is going to events and like filming it,
Yeah.
and then like like reacting to it, I guess, or like giving information about them,
So
ᵗŒᵃ Entertainment comes to mind.
Literally,
And
I love her though.
yeah.
But some people are built for that.
Some
and
people
we're
are.
Just
Not yet.
Not yet, and we might never be.
One day, we'll reach our
Well,
famous.
I sure hope so.
No hate to
TikTok
anybody
era.
who's like that. You know, if that's your lifestyle, like, and you're making
Go
money
you.
and you're
Like,
happy,
that's
like,
awesome.
good for you.
You make good
as
money.
long as you're
Yeah.
not spreading hate, like, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are teenagers. Don't let us ruin your career.
Oh,
Okay, Dive. Yeah, they're definitely gonna listen to us.
canceling. I was just about to say one thing. I can completely see how people get sucked into the numbers of social
Oh
media.
yeah.
Like,
Yes, for sure.
I was looking at our channel analytics just to see how they were doing, because that one of the things I put on my journals for the project, and you know,
That's
we have the views of a new YouTube channel, like
Yeah.
under 100 for all of our things.
Yeah.
But like I saw everything has like a graph and a number. Like you can see where people dropped off and stopped watching your video.
Really?
In the video. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
And so it's like I've heard like the YouTubers I love talk about this kind of stuff, but actually being like behind the veil and seeing all that stuff, I can completely understand now how people just go crazy being like, oh my goodness, I got 50% less views on this video than the video before it. Like what happened? Or like that rush of like, what's the happiness?
dopamine.
Dopamine. That dopamine rush when you see like, oh, we got 6 subscribers from this one episode, so
Right.
that one
That's awesome.
did really well.
I mean, that's like the whole point of social
It
media in the
is.
first place. You know,
Mhm.
as a consumer, it's like right there, draws you in, and then as a creator, we want you to keep making content
Watching.
because you make us money.
Mhm.
But like speaking from personal experience, when I was Twitch streaming, I no longer do that.
Twitch streaming?
Twitch streaming.
Streamering?
I think I.
They
stuttered.
were a streamer.
Okay.
They were.
Anyways,
Uh-huh.
just like it's one of those things because you see the live feed as you're recording and like putting out the content, and like I remember one time I was having a bad day. I was with my friends, but it was kind of like
Just not it.
it was not it, and I had like 3 followers, which at the time was like not followers, 3 viewers, and at the time that wasn't like normal. It was ranging around I think like 15. Sorry, overshot that.
By double.
It's been a while.
Uh-huh.
But it's just like, okay, these people obviously can tell that I'm having a bad time.
Mm.
And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go off on my own, no longer be with my friends, and just talk with chat and just...
Yeah.
And then, like, that lifts up your mood, or for me, that lifted up my mood, and my viewership went up. So it very much depends on, like,
Your vibe.
your attitude and your mood. Also, during the time, I was not mentally the best.
This semester, am I right?
I mean, this was online learning, so it was very
snap.
different. Yeah.
Mm.
So it was just like, and that was my communications with a lot of people. So it's very easy to get sucked in, but it's also fun. Like you reach a new milestone. I got a video, I forget when. I saw a video where it was me reaching 666 followers. I was like, haha, nice. Doubles
666 on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
make
good.
money.
you were popular.
Oh my
Checks,
God.
bro. Like actual. I got one.
Changed
a
my
couple weeks
career.
ago. No, but like, I mean, especially on the time everyone was on Twitch, so it was.
Yeah. Like, that was the time to be making content, honestly.
Yeah. And if I stuck with it, like that would have been cool.
Isn't that when like Speed got like a lot of viewership?
Speed.
Do you guys know who Speed is? I show Speed.
Oh, that's a person?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe I'm
Bria.
It could be so many things.
Yeah.
A game.
I don't know. His
drugs,
name
a
is like I Show
person.
Speed, and I remember he like reached I think like 2 million followers.
Yeah.
And I want to say in like 5
Well, this
months or
was
something.
I think.
But he acted like
2021.
cray cray.
Yeah,
on
that's the
camera.
thing. Oh, I think I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. That's the thing. Oh,
Oh, the one
losing yourself to social media. Like, so
Yeah.
many people change so drastically to fit,
Damn, we
like,
should have really made an episode about this.
well,
Mini-sode.
this is,
Speaking of,
I guess this episode's topic is just talking about podcasts
how
and social media.
I was just like thinking, because you know we want to pursue this like after high school,
Right.
I believe. I was thinking we should have like a little Zoom.
I was thinking, because there are
I
YouTubers who
never
do
wanna
that.
That's the
download
only
Zoom
way
again.
that-
Or through Discord.
Discord.
We'd have to
yeah.
do it through Discord,
You can do
probably.
Discord. Zoom is so glitchy, bro.
It is.
Discord is.
And I'm going to be in a
Just
different
talk.
country.
Yeah, so I mean it's either Discord or Zoom. So
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
like, oof.
I think it should be
Stories.
fun, and
Sometimes
then like we could have film our own stuff.
I definitely think it'll be fun. And
Yeah.
oh god, because content is just such an interesting world too, as like the generation who grew up. Like, I think we were the first generation who were like, I want to be YouTubers. I feel like I don't know if the people
I
like
think we were
even
lucky.
our older siblings.
yes,
I don't think were
yeah.
like
But we were lucky in the sense that like our generation, we grew up going outside and having fun, and then
Yeah.
having video games and stuff
We grew
like
up with
that
early
as like a
YouTube.
side.
Mhm.
It was, you wouldn't spend all day playing video games.
True.
Like, I had a huge side yard at my old house. My brothers and I would go play there, and then we'd go
Yeah.
out and play Wii Sports or whatever.
Mhm.
But now,
It was
like,
balanced.
the younger,
Yeah.
it was balanced very well, I think. And now it feels like the younger generations are just getting it shoved down their faces.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them.
I do too.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate because
I feel bad for all the
I don't
people who
know.
have to deal with them too.
I just feel like they won't experience like
Rest in
the
peace to
brightness of childhood. You know, like going
Yeah.
outside and like getting hit in the
But I
face with a
wonder if
ball.
that's something that
You know? I feel like that's a very big.
The basketball
Also,
hitting your head.
I feel like
Development
the
moment.
level of creativity, like me and my older sister, my younger sibling, like we were going out to like our backyard, grabbing sticks and like making up
Right.
things,
Right?
or like I would have like my littlest pet shops and we'd be having like full on civil wars.
That was
like,
literally me.
right. Like I
I
don't
was
know if that's a thing that happens anymore
I
with
had
kids.
an imaginary
she wanted
friend.
a better doll. Like,
Literally, like
I don't know. I would have like cooking shows, and I would use like,
the
all
soap and stuff.
all the like electronic stuff with the TV and like the thing that gets really hot back then with the TV.
router?
Easy Bake. Wait, not Easy Bake. Oven.
No, it was like it was like an electronic thing connected to the TV. It was like a cable box or something.
Oh,
with the
you were
old
using
TVs.
that,
Yeah, and I
like,
was,
imaginary?
my imaginary food.
That's
I
so
was-
funny.
My imaginary friends and have an imaginary cooking competition.
Like, do kids have imaginary friends anymore? Like the ones who
Probably.
aren't homeschooled?
yeah, I don't know.
Probably, but you mentioned it on TikTok, and everyone's like, "You're schizophrenic." So
Oh my god. Literally though, like people will be like, "Did you read as a child? Maybe you have ADHD."
Why does everybody
did you see
want to
that
be
one video?
neurodivergent?
There's
Not just
signs
that.
you're bisexual. You're hungry all the time.
I got that one, and like I was so upset because
So everyone's
everybody-
bisexual.
Well, I think everybody's a little bit gay.
that's not the episode.
Straight white mom thing to say.
That's a fun white mom thing to say.
True. White mom.
A little bit gay. Just a little bit.
We all went to college once.
We all kissed a girl before.
We all
No.
dream about her.
Yeah.
Our childhood
We all
best friend.
dream about murdering our husbands. Like gay people do.
Yes.
Which kind of does bring us to things that we wish we had talked about
So much.
previously. Like, just with the gender episode.
I wish we talked. Okay, so we did talk about mainly the like being a woman gender. Like, that
Yeah, it was a
perspective
very
and stuff,
feminity
which I'm glad
focus.
we talked about because we're all AFAB people assigned female at birth, and but I wish we also talked about like queerness beyond just like gender,
Yeah.
like with identity and stuff like that. Because like I know a lot, and I'm sure you know
Yeah.
a lot, and you have a different perspective, which I know we touched on. Because all of our episodes were something that had to do with a person who hosted them. I talked about gender. You talked about consumerism, education, and
first gen.
immigration.
We kind of did like a
Yeah.
race
so
episode.
Yeah.
it was very similar to like all of our personal experiences. But there's so much we could go into depth on that
With
it's
each
like
of them.
Right.
impossible to do. It feels impossible to do.
I mean,
It's just
also
impossible.
just on, and we can go into all the different aspects, but just on the gender piece, like we've had that whole I think it's been a recent thing with the criminalization of like drag queens and stuff like that. Like just
That's
with
not even
that,
like- that's not
we
even
could have
like
had a whole episode.
physical gender identity.
I
That is
know.
just gender expression.
Expression.
Yeah.
Which
Don't
is-
even get me started on gender
Oh my
expression.
god, we could have an hour-long video on just me defining or just all of us defining different gender things, not even going in and talking about our own experiences.
Right. Like there's so much we could have, and also like with education, I think we mainly talked about like our experiences with education,
Yeah.
but like the problems with the educational system, like
Yes.
charter versus
Yeah.
public, which is something I learned about recently, the difference between those two.
Yeah.
Like, and how charter schools can be not so great most of the
No.
time. Like,
Nope.
we could have done so much with that alone.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the thing is that we stuck with like what seems like exact topics, but even under those exact topics, they are so
much.
broad and expand so much. I think that would have been great if we were able to talk about it, but it's just
not enough time.
Maybe if
not
we
enough time, probably not enough resources, because like
we all have
not
lives.
enough resources.
Also,
True.
scheduling around our schedules was very chaotic.
A lot of things had to be given up for sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't work on Wednesdays anymore.
She's
So I
losing
can
the
fill
bread.
the bread I so
bags.
desperately need.
I'm
money's bread.
fine with that, because if I worked on Wednesday, not you, I'm fine with it if like that I don't work Wednesdays, because that would mean I would work 5 days a week.
Yeah, and I don't really want to work 4 days a week either.
Yeah.
But it is like the things we have to balance,
Yeah.
which is also like talking about future stuff. We will eventually have real jobs.
And
That's
money.
so weird.
How do you do taxes? I don't know how to manage money
You've never had like
at all.
You've never gotten a W-2, have you?
Ooh.
Yeah, because
Well, I
like
work.
Maryan's never done her. Have you ever done your taxes?
Have you gotten a W-2?
Yeah.
Have you done your taxes before? Because
I haven't done my
Wow.
taxes before. Because
You've never done your taxes
We get
before?
an extension till October in the state of California.
but you've never done your taxes
No,
before?
because I didn't make enough last year to qualify.
Yeah, I don't think I made it up.
Dude,
no.
Don't you
well,
have to
taxes.
make,
Can't you just still file to get the
I can
money
still
back?
The
file.
deductions,
But
right?
the goal is to not get a tax refund, and the goal is to not owe money either. Your goal is to be perfectly balanced. So
I am completely fine with the
I
tax.
don't know.
I'm
I don't
just-
know what that means.
You
Like,
see, I just know
Which
my
is so
parents-
crazy to me.
My parents decided filed for me so I could get the money that they
You never
withheld.
filed your taxes either?
Not by myself, no. My mom doesn't even file her taxes. My dad does all her taxes.
I don't know money. I
No, it's
remember I
very
got
hard.
my W-2 form back from my employer
Mm-hmm.
when I had a job. He like gave me something and it had numbers on it,
If
and
it
my
says
dad.
Did you give it to your
W2 on the
parents?
bottom,
Yeah, I gave it to my parents. I was like, you know what?
I-
Here,
Yeah.
because I
3 in
don't
my room
know
right now.
what I'm doing.
It's like, okay, as someone who's gone in and done all this stuff, and like I filed as a dependent last time.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I filed as an independent last time because I wasn't being claimed as a dependent anymore. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it's good to know what it all looks like right now, because it's gonna get complicated once we start living on our own and all that stuff.
You filed as an
You know what?
independent?
Don't even get me started.
You know,
Let's talk about that.
I agree with that, but then also like I feel like it also depends on like your parents.
For
Because
sure.
my
We
parents
don't have a lot of
not
control.
Told me anything
Jack.
about like money or anything. Like with my bank stuff, like I have my own money, and then my mom's like, "Oh, you should put your money in a Roth IRA," and they have like, I guess savings for me, but like they don't talk to me about any of it.
That is so
So I don't know
fascinating
Yeah,
to
my
me.
parents do
on.
the same thing. Like
thing
like
is-
all the money that, because they put money into my account like periodically for like my future, but then they move it to like other accounts for like investment accounts, but they don't tell me, because sometimes they'll just be like, oh yeah, like your investment account made money or something,
And you're just
and
like,
I'm like,
And I'm
what?
just like, what do you mean?
One thing that, like, my mom was constantly like, oh yeah, start saving now, which is what every adult says. How come you guys
That was such a
know?
bisexual way of sitting.
Anyway.
Anyway. You know, that's the whole stereotype
Yeah,
we sit
okay.
with. Anyway,
Anyways.
go on.
But, like, my mom was constantly like, oh yeah, you gotta save your money, which everyone knows they gotta save their money. But,
But
like,
do they?
What does that mean, though?
You know what?
what does that mean? Like,
If I don't spend it now, why would I want to spend it when I'm 60 years old? Like, what am I gonna
Also,
do?
what if I die before then?
Exactly.
What
Like with
happens?
Roth IRAs, like I get it's good, but you get the money after how old are you?
59
like,
and a half.
Right. I'm not gonna turn up when I'm 60. I'm gonna turn up now.
I'm not gonna.
This is terrible advice.
This isn't the
We're not
advice.
financial
This is completely opinion right now.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
completely opinion. I actually am gonna set up a Roth IRA soon.
Because
but
it's untaxable.
yeah,
when
that's
you
the
take
thing.
it out.
And if you do
garners
need
money.
it when you're 60,
That's why a lot of people, like, after they retire, they don't like living in California, is because they tax it when you take stuff out of your retirement fund.
Right.
That's why my dad wants to
Wow.
move to Nevada, because he's like, they don't tax you when you
Why
take stuff out of
Nevada?
your.
No
You can
offense,
travel the
Nevada.
world.
it's not that bad.
yeah, but there's
That's
better
not true.
states.
If you when you travel, you still have to claim a primary residence wherever you are.
think
You
Yep.
can't just
I feel
like
Maine or Oregon. would be
pick up and
good.
leave.
Oregon. I would want to live in Oregon.
I'm a Seattle. I think I'll move to Seattle when I get older.
It rains every single day in
I
Seattle.
like the rain too.
Yeah, they should always live
You know
there,
I'm a
bro.
cold weather girly.
But it's
No.
not
I'll
always
come
cold.
visit you in SoCal, okay?
SoCal. You know, I was actually thinking, like, you know, we're gonna move out, and then we have to find somewhere to live.
We have to
Like,
apartments.
I know, but like a
Apartments?
place to live. Like,
I know.
do you guys know where you guys would want? Well, you want to live in Japan.
Well,
right?
you go
Well,
where,
for a while, yeah.
where the work, where
Yeah,
you, where you
that's
get a
what
job.
you go where
Yeah,
you
that's
the
true.
money is. That's completely
So-
true.
Well, also, if the moolah is in Texas, I don't know how bad
I don't
want
know
the
if-
moolah.
I don't know if the moolah will
I
ever
don't
be
think I
in
can move
Texas.
to Texas.
You
I don't think that's physically possible for me.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be smart for any of us to move to Texas.
Yeah.
Or like Arkansas.
You know what's funny? It's like I keep there are those states where like the property taxes are lower,
Yeah.
so it looks
Florida.
good. But then you also have to think about the politics of those states.
Not just that,
Tax.
The other taxes
Income
eventually
tax.
like even out. Like,
Right, exactly.
No place
So-
is
I was just
cheaper
saying-
than another. Like we say
Honestly,
that, like,
like,
oh, Minnesota's
California-
great. Their gas is like $2. Okay,
And then their property
minimum wage
taxes-
is also like $7.
Not just
Right.
that,
So it's-
like the cost of like stuff there is like crazy expensive.
Insane.
Like literally I saw this video of like in the winter, like in those states where they don't grow anything, like milk is like $10. And I'm just like, what? And like
Imagine.
fruit is like $12.
Oh,
And it's just like,
in our state. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
and
expensive.
it's still expensive like
It's
for
still
me.
expensive 'cause,
Don't
Well,
even
it's
get me
just California,
started.
Inflation.
like California is expensive to live in,
For sure.
but politically, economically, and environmentally,
We're
I'm
kind
a
of
California person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
be our own country.
We can.
With our economy, like we literally could.
If
I
we
think-
snapped off, the U.S. would be hurting for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. California
so
and
much
New
money
York,
off
I
the
think, could
wine.
be their own country.
Yeah.
California is
Maybe
like
Although,
Texas-
could you imagine if New York was its own
well,
cesspit of a
York
country?
doesn't grow stuff.
Sorry,
That's
New York.
true.
California isn't a
But they have,
cesspit.
they get
It
like
is,
a lot
but we
of
have our. It's like
We have the rich areas.
money.
Well, so does New York.
because that's where all the rich people are, right?
True.
Huh?
Eh,
Where are the rich
We
people?
had two different
New
conversations.
York.
not really.
There's some rich
Upstate
The
New
people.
faux
York.
rich people.
It's like, yeah, faux rich are in New York. Like
Where do
the
rich people live?
the rich people are in like
The
the,
rich
secret
peop-
neighborhoods
yeah.
of California.
Secret.
Like
and
literally.
like yeah, they don't live in one place all the time. They like
They have like
hop.
houses.
It's
all
like
over
when
the
you see
world.
those news stories about like those giant houses that just like you don't even know they exist until they're on the news, like that.
Or like that one giant house you see off the freeway, like in the hill.
And it's like, yeah, that's someone who makes like that's part of that. Remember that video from Econ? Like, there's 400 people in the United States who have like half
Oh,
the
the
wealth.
top 1%.
Yeah, like that's where they're living.
Yeah.
and like they're in like submarines under. Like, they're not where normal
They're
people
not-
are.
They're with the
They're not living
private
on
jets.
land.
Yeah,
No, we're not-
literally,
They're under the water.
No, for real.
rich people are fish.
I want to be so
that
extremely
one?
wealthy that I could just buy an ocean.
Ugh,
There's not enough
I-
to go around. I don't want to be that wealthy. I want to be wealthy enough where I can make money and donate it all.
When you're-
I
when
can't
you
be
die
rich
now.
because I'll be a bad person.
Me too. You know, I think
I will
about
be
that
such a
all
bad
the
person.
time. If I was like an old white man, would I be a good person?
I am so worried that like once I grow older,
You'll turn into an
A
old
bad
white
person.
man.
to like
I mean, like he will be an old
I
white
like
man.
to think I like to think that like I'm pretty open thinking right now,
Mhm.
but I'm worried that like because there's old people now who are super strict and are very
Mhm.
closed-minded, who like back in the day were like so progressive for the time.
Right.
But also I keep saying things about how like every old person in our country, not every old person, but a lot of old people in our country are suffering from lead poisoning, from lead
Oh.
exposure when they were
Yeah.
younger,
Mhm.
which drastically affects your mentality.
You know
And
what? On that point, there's also stuff that I'm like, I'm an 18-year-old, but like I see like TikToks about like these 12-year-olds who look like they're 18, first of all, but like the things they say, and I'm like, what on earth? And then I'm like, but is
Yeah.
this? And then I have to take a step back, and I'm like, is this actually weird, or is it just like I'm just
Weird.
Or
not
you're
at-
just
in the
growing
headspace.
older and you're like
and I'm just seeing the
maturing.
silliness of
Yeah.
the young. Yeah, that
No,
could
I
also
get
be it.
Like I don't know. Sometimes I
Sounds
look at
weird.
TikTok and I'll be seeing like all these young people having children at like 12 and 13.
Who's the one who got engaged recently? Some famous
Bobby
person.
Brown?
Millie, I think was it the one who's like our age who got married.
She's 19.
she's 19.
Yeah.
Which is
Crazy.
Like, if that's her choice, that's her choice.
I
Fine.
suppose.
I get
But
it.
like even now, like I'm young, I'm 18. I'm so old. Became probably actually.
You're
My knees are-
legal now.
Yikes.
Anyways, like even think about how like a year ago, I feel so much older than then.
True.
But even now, it's
different
like-
headspace. You know what though?
I relate to that though.
I only worry about celebrities who do stuff like that, promoting growing up too fast to younger kids, because I feel like that happens a lot. Where like, because there was that one girl on YouTube who said that she was older than she was.
Daniel
Delia Cohn.
I remember.
Cohen. Daniel Cohen.
Cohen.
It was Cohn.
Yeah.
I think it was Con. Like Con.
Danielle Cohn.
Yeah.
She the one that
Conning the public of her age.
Her parents were. Okay.
people were obsessed with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
money.
a weird situation.
Yeah.
I think she's like not.
Isn't she like irrelevant now? I know she's like.
I think she went underground to like live a normal life.
No.
No, she's still on.
Is she still?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about her.
She
recently.
changed though. She's like more like alt.
Mm.
Oh.
Like she's.
So she's fine now. That's usually what that means when girls like that go alt. Sorry, I'm in a mood today. But yeah, like her whole thing was that, like the way she dressed, the way she talked, like the way she acted, like she did not act like the people she dated.
Even with her like possibly pretend age, like
It was still not
that was
okay.
weird.
It was still not
that
okay.
was just like that was like I call it the Musically star era, and I feel
True.
like all
Yeah.
the Musically stars, like first of all, they looked so much older.
That's what I'm saying.
They
I feel like they're
feels like
promoting
they
that.
did.
But they
then
were
you
like
go back
12
there
and 13.
No,
when you look
the
back
way they
at
were
it,
dressing
they
and
look
makeup.
13. They look like Jacob Sartorius. Like he looked like I don't know. He looked old when I was younger, but he looks 12 when I look back on it now.
Yeah, it's like they looked too young to be doing the things they were doing, but also for their age they were doing too much. If that makes sense.
Even like right now on like people on mutuals with people on Instagram or some like TikTok people I see, they're younger than me, and like I rationalize it being like I'm 18, like I shouldn't be looking. But also it's like
Please.
17, like when I was 17, like that's still a weird thing to post. I need you to stop sexualizing
Right, I need you to
yourself.
relax.
You have a public
Oh, like
Instagram
soft.
account.
I get it.
Sophomores in the there's a
Not even sophomores.
also is it just me? Maybe it's just me because I don't really post like my Instagram is really just for my friends. Like it's for jokes and stuff. But I recently followed the 2027 page of my school, and I was looking at the pictures and then also the 2027 pages of other schools, and I'm like, people really be having super influencer level pictures on their Instagrams.
100%.
Right? And I'm like, because really, I'm just on Instagram. Well, I don't really care about Instagram like in general, but like I'm on there to have fun. And if I do post a picture of myself, I'm like in my Subway tee
And
with
you're
my
cute.
cat. Yeah.
I post
But like it's
funny
like
pictures.
people have professional level photography with what's it called? That
Digital cameras and stuff.
yeah, like 5 o'clock, like the sun, like they are fully
They plan.
golden hour.
golden hour.
plan
That's what I
it.
was gonna say. Like, and that is so.
But also for some people,
And they're our age and younger, and I'm like, I mean, that's great that like, because I know that makes people feel confident too.
Anything for
But
the
I feel like
gram.
I don't
that
look.
is their fun.
Yeah.
And like not everyone has to be held to that standard. I think the problem is
I think
just
that's my
when it's
problem.
like
But everyone is held to that standard.
Yeah.
That's the
True.
point. Like that's for those pages.
Yeah.
That's just to gain Instagram followers. It's just to make friends. And if you don't look appealing, nobody's gonna want to like.
It is
reach out.
so sad looking on those 2027 pages, seeing one post have a lot of likes and then one right after it have.
Like 15, just because like they don't have like those Instagram.
Right, like,
level
because it's just like
photos.
me and my mom. Like, how dare you?
How dare you not have a whole camera crew take your pictures?
Why aren't your cheeks on camera? Like, literally. It's crazy.
Where's the skin?
Like, some of these people. And I mean, like, go off, sis. It's your Instagram. But I just really
Not
wonder.
just this guy.
Well, sis is gender
I know.
neutral, but yeah, like everyone. It's just, I don't know. That's social media for you. That's today's social media. Nah, Instagram's always been like that, actually.
And also, I
Instagram
don't.
baddie era. I miss that era.
I don't.
I remember seeing your Instagram explore page during somewhere like around that era, and that was before I had Instagram, so I was very confused on how it worked. But I remember
You
your-
had Instagram after me.
yeah.
I think
I got Instagram freshman year.
all
Really?
Yeah, I remember. Tianeh even plugged
Yeah.
me.
Is that true?
Yeah, I
You
got
did not have
Instagram.
Instagram?
No,
I
I had
didn't get-
Snap.
True.
I had Snap.
I did
get
not
my
understand
main-
Snapchat for so
I
long.
had my
I don't
art
even have
Instagram
Snapchat.
account, which I
It's
started
useless.
freshman year, which I wasn't like very like. Well, now I'm not active on it at all. But then, like, I think 2020, I got my main Instagram account and like let go of the art account. So I've
Oh yeah, and people with their mains and their spams and their.
Hey,
I
I think
my
I'm the only
main
person in this
spam.
room who doesn't have a spam.
Because I got rid of your main.
Yeah, I just have my spam, and I love it because I feel like
Which is your
the
main now,
reason
I guess.
why- I guess like what's the word? It's very easy to get sucked into the whole follower thing, and I personally got sucked into the whole follower thing, and I was
still
like, no.
I remember that.
And then I deactivated, and now I'm living my best
'Cause
life,
I
just
remember
posting
you-
random stuff on my spam.
Good for you.
Were,
Living-
like, very self-conscious of like, oh, I can't post that. And I remember telling you like, hey, you should actually like make a post about that, not just post it on your story. And you're like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, but you look like beautiful. I'm like, post it.
And I'm just like, wow. Because, like, I really just post whatever.
What is?
I
Like,
post random shit.
No, and but I
yeah.
like, what I was, like, I feel, I had a moment where I kind of felt bad for myself because I was looking at the college pages, and it's like these people, you know, posing to the nines, like JoJo posing in their things, and I'm just over here like.
No, I get it. I don't know. I just felt like I still struggle.
Like, I
with
feel like I look like a
self-confidence.
child.
Like, I still really do struggle with that. I just sometimes, because you just you know what? With social media, I don't think we were trained to see that many beautiful people in like a day.
Oh yeah.
So like you're just constantly I constantly compare myself to other people.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I think it's a problem, which is why taking social media breaks actually really help with mental health. Like, I didn't realize that until I did.
No, that's so true. When I deleted Twitter, Tumblr, and Reddit, I became a much happier
Well,
person
those are
for a
the
year.
worst ones.
Exactly. No, I was in the cesspit of the
Bro,
internet.
I am.
DeviantArt. Ugh, you probably are the only one who knows what that is, but
I never had it, but I remember
Yeah.
once scrolling through like Google Images and once seeing this really weird image that I cannot explain.
Yeah.
It violates YouTube terms.
yeah.
And it was just.
And it was
was
because
from
all
DeviantArt. It was just
all
like,
those types of pictures are on
why?
DeviantArt 100%, and I was deep in it in elementary
I
school.
use
Oh, wild.
I use Twitter whenever
Still.
like if Spotify goes down, I'd be like Spotify.
Oh yeah, there's a website for that though.
Please.
Like it's
My
such and
Spotify's
such
acting
down.
weird. I gotta go on Twitter. Just tell me what happened.
Please.
I find it really interesting though how you brought up like how these people care so much about their Instagram pages, because I feel like that is still me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
you look good.
I still think it's me. I still care.
Mhm.
I think I care to a less degree now because I literally just be posting whatever. If you view my story, you know. But I feel like same with like my posts and stuff. I still like want to fit a specific vibe. If that
Mhm.
makes sense.
And I'm not even trying to say there's anything wrong with that. It's more like a thing with me, cause like like the haul I did, I realized like the pictures were like
I
grainy, and I'm like,
I don't know. I just
should I
love
have
your
taken better
vibe.
pictures of this?
You just have a very specific
I'm
vibe.
like, really?
It's
Yeah,
like girly pop.
It's
I
like
love that.
I don't know. It's like
Girly pop.
I mean,
what
it's
way?
the
Like
nicest way
feminine
possible.
or
It's like
gay?
2014. I don't care core.
Like,
It's like I don't. Oh, I can't
Like-
believe I just said that.
it's the
I
literally
don't know.
Icona Pop I don't care song.
No,
as an
literally, it's
Instagram.
just like you post whatever, whenever. It's literally like it is. A
You never
spam.
know what I'm gonna post. Yeah, I guess
It
my
is-
main
your
is
main
like
is
basically a
spam.
spam.
And
and that's
If I knew
everything.
what-
I admire that. I wish that could be me, but with my mindset, like I just
Yeah.
care too much about what
I think
how others.
Although I think you look
perceive me.
gorgeous, so don't stop posting the pictures you post. Like, I'm here for it. But like, it is so. It's crazy being friends and 4 different people and looking at our individual like Instagrams, which are always linked in the description. And looking
Follow
at,
us.
and seeing how different they are. Like, I think you and Tianeh probably have a closer vibe in like your Instagrams, and then I think me and Dime actually have a bit of a closer vibe to like our Instagrams. Although yours is a bit more artsy than mine, for sure. Because I don't
Yours
have
is
talent.
more gay.
Dimes.
Actually, both of your guys
Well,
gives off gay.
just different
Thank you.
versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're more
Broke.
girly pop.
With. Anyways, so how do we? First off, how do we get started talking about social media?
Well, we started about social media because we were talking about it earlier.
Oh,
'cause
with like our experience with.
Yeah, social media.
Okay.
Because we are now content creators and influencers. Because
Yes, we are.
We are.
are
influencers.
promoters at least.
Do we
That's what-
influence you guys? Let
Comment
us know.
below.
Comment down below.
But with that, I wanted to think because we've talked a lot
Honey, the
about
way
our
you're
previous
sitting.
experience.
Don't huff at me.
I am puffing. With us talking about our like previous and current experiences, I wanted to know what you guys like, what your plans were after high school, and once this project is not
Finito.
completely done. This is the end of the project, by the way, but we want to continue producing after that. So, you know, we're not disappearing. But what are your guys' plans?
I'm gonna start that over here.
Okay, so I am going to UC Davis for molecular and medical microbiology.
Whoa.
Women in STEM.
That's
Women
those are
in
big
STEM.
ones.
I plan to pursue on the pre-med route, and I think I want to pursue a minor in neuroscience because I think the brain is super cool.
Brain is weird.
Period.
So, yeah,
Good for
that's
you,
my
sis.
plan.
What career do you want to get? Like,
So I want to be like in the medical field. I want to be some sort of doctor. I don't know what specifically, like what specialty I want to go into.
I was just about to
You know,
ask.
I don't
You want to
know.
have your hands in the body.
I think so,
that's gross.
but I have
That's what
to
they
like.
do.
It is what.
First of all, I have to get to medical school first, and then I can experience like my
I believe
rotations
in you.
Mhm.
with like specialties that I want to get
Right.
into. But right now, ideally in my head, I like the idea of being an orthopedic surgeon or an ER doctor.
So you're really gonna be busy after your undergraduates.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Not
going
just
into,
after, during
Well,
undergraduate.
well, true. I was about to say because
Everything.
like the question was kind of like was it with social media or was just like what do we plan to do after?
Yeah, what do we plan on doing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk
So
about
school is
School.
my life.
It's school
We'll do
and
my
then
life
work
for
and
the
then we
next
die.
12 years.
or
Maybe
more.
even more.
Ugh.
You got this. We believe in you.
Okay, so like Maryan, I am also going to UC Davis and majoring in molecular and medical microbiology.
Women STEM.
And I'm also on the pre-med track and I want to become a dermatologist. And the reason why I want to become a dermatologist is because I've always liked the skin and I've had a lot of like skin problems in my life. So I've always
She's
just
glowing now, though.
Our Accutane survivor.
yes, survivor indeed.
Survivor.
And I've always just found that line of work interesting, and I like that that dermatologists have like a healthier work-life balance than most doctors do.
Sure.
Because at least mine only works 3 days a week, so that
And
sounds
you
like
could only
life.
run practice.
Yeah.
But
Very
it takes it
ideal
still
if you
takes
want to
lot
start a
more.
family. I will say that.
Mm.
But you can start a family with any profession you have.
Or you can
Yes.
choose not to have kids.
Exactly. You know what? Maybe you are a single, independent person.
Not get me. Me personally, I am going to go to Temple University, Japan.
International.
International. And I plan to major in international business, and I hope to actually double major and do
Whoa.
broadcast journalism.
Oh, she's a businesswoman.
She's a businesswoman on the Tilly Telly, and so
Business.
I hope to major in that. The Tilly Telly. I hope to major in that, and then I want to intern while I'm in school. I want to intern at NHK Media, a news company, and then hopefully that will get me into the media realm. And eventually, I want to be doing stuff like making documentaries like Vice or like Al Jazeera, and Vice, Al Jazeera, and there's another one that are like my idols, so to speak, in like the documentary world. But I really like going to different places and making documentaries about like the things I feel like people should know and see. That is kind of like what my dream job is currently. So I hope to be doing that or something in the media. I think being like some kind of television personality would be really fun.
You definitely.
You have the vibes.
Vibes, the
Thank
social,
you.
the personality. You know.
Yeah, I thank you. I appreciate that, especially YouTuber voice. I have to put it to good use. I have to wield it with responsibility.
Yeah.
So that's what I plan to do. But if I have the time, honestly, I do actually want to do like some YouTube and social media stuff while I'm in college, just because I feel like it'd be fun, and it's also like a way to connect me with the outside world, because I'm gonna be in a place that I'm not used to at all, like a completely different environment, and so like I don't know, I when I post on social media even now, it's like a way of feeling seen.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna do it for like followers or anything. It's just gonna be like, I exist. Someone please acknowledge my existence by watching this video, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those are my plans.
My plan. So it's not decided yet because, so, backstory. I applied to Cal Poly SLO and then got waitlisted, which was fine, it happens. So then I redirected my application to Cal Poly Humboldt, which is more up north. to do agricultural engineering. That's like what well, I think agricultural engineering at SLO, Cal Poly SLO, and then Humboldt will be environmental engineering to do something. Right. So the plan, which is probably the safest bet, is to stay in California even like after college, because that's where I can get the job. So that's the stuck I'm stayed in. Wait,
that is the stuck I'm stayed in. No. Period.
You know what? Everything will work out for real. And when a
I'm
door
rooting
closes,
for all of you,
another one opens.
That's true. I'm actually really excited for it because Humboldt is right next to a beach.
Oh,
and
yeah, you told
Costco.
me that.
Bro, that's all I know.
Anywhere I can go that there will be a Costco nearby, that's how I know I'm safe.
Are there Costco's in Japan?
There are.
Oh,
but
what?
You
I didn't even know. You didn't know that?
No.
Maybe I was talking to you about that because we were talking about me getting a Costco card. But yeah, there's Costco's in Japan.
Oh, wait,
but
we
Don
were
Quixote's.
talking about
that. Yeah. But Don Quixote's.
Obviously,
that's
I'm
the
one
place.
who's
It's like
left
Costco
out
but Japanese.
all the time.
And they bring
I don't
see.
see.
They have their own sushi place in the Costco.
Yes, they
there.
do. Yes, they do. And it's good sushi.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the food.
Was it good sushi?
In Japan.
Can you even find bad sushi in Japan?
Probably.
You can find
in the slums.
bad burgers in America. So.
True. Although, if you're eating a bad burger in America, that's because you choose to. There are enough burger places.
There are so many
everywhere
burger places.
Right. You can find something that's good or relatively. I mean, Burger King's not good, but.
I'm tired of these burgers, people.
I was just shaming burgers.
Sorry, I'm a very big.
I'm hungry.
I love that for you. But there will be food in college. Hopefully, food plans.
You do
Hopefully
need to eat.
good food.
That is important.
I'm really. Well, I mean, like, I guess you don't have to worry because
I actually don't have a food plan, so it's gonna be like groceries and stuff. But groceries.
Well, you could cook then.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Ramen there is gonna be delicious.
Exactly. So,
Bro,
girl, I'm gonna have my mini fridge, cups of ramen, and then like ramunes.
You
and
should
water.
make like the ramen where you do the drop egg.
Wait till you'll see it on my Instagram.
Make sure to go follow
Speaking
Bria.
of ramen, my favorite ramen place at what is the place? At the Veranda in.
Oh, the one outside.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
it changed
what's it
into a
called?
pho place.
What?
And
Wait.
listen.
Wait.
I'm not a big fan of
The
pho.
hot pot place?
I'm
No.
not a big fan of pho.
The ramen, because you know how there's the courtyard.
Oh.
There's that
different
ramen place right
okay.
next to it.
I'm just not a big fan of pho, and it was alright.
I
think it's
love
the beef,
pho.
the
I
beef
love
stock.
pho.
I just didn't like the flavor of it, and that's
weird.
all they had.
That sucks.
And I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big beef person, so
They didn't have noodles at the hot place.
that
for us.
ramen place was so good, and now it's gone. And Gerald, my boyfriend, he was like, "It's the same thing." I was like, "No, it's not."
It's not.
It's not the same.
That is an
thing.
incorrect statement.
No.
Oh, honey.
Not the same thing.
That
Are
reminds me.
to teach that
completely
man.
different.
This
Well,
is
I think he has a little bit more culture than me, so.
saying
Well,
ramen and pho are
okay.
the same thing or not.
Obviously not enough.
Right. That isn't.
The wrong culture.
That reminds me when Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend said had like they were in Japan and they had a bottle and he was like some Chinese water and she's like, we're in Japan. Yeah, that gives the same energy. Like.
Okay. I'm so sad to miss that ramen because it was so good. No, I can make my own ramen and it'd be pretty good.
But
Like,
do you
I'm-
guys have food plans? Like, 'cause
I
I
don't
didn't
even
look
know
into
if
the
I'm
other schools.
accepted, so no clue.
Well, but like the.
UCs have food plans.
But is the food good?
UCLA actually has the best food.
Well, that,
like,
you're not going
plans.
there.
Yeah, that is true. Please accept me off the wait list.
Please.
Anyway,
Mhm.
so I'm living at school because my parents are like, go.
They're like.
So, I guess I will keep you guys posted with that. But I do live really close, so I mean, like, I could just
Oh yeah,
come home.
Davis.
And plus, I have a friend with a car, so she can take me home.
You
Well,
guys go
I've
home
had
to
too
eat dinner
much.
at Maryan's house.
Yes.
Yes. I'll
Too much food.
I'll go in her car, and I'll be like, Tianeh, take me to your place.
That's so
gonna
crazy.
have
You
some
guys are gonna be going to the same school, huh?
Are you guys
Yeah.
gonna be roommates?
I'm commuting the first
How
year.
does that work?
What,
Like,
roommates?
do people really
You
get
can
to?
apply to. You
Yeah.
can like
Actually,
ask to have this.
I guess I
room.
will keep you guys posted with that because actually I have to fill my housing form thing. So
do that
but-
as soon as possible. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of those are first come first served.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's to
Yeah.
everyone applying to
She first
college.
has to accept UC.
I've accepted UC
Oh, you
Davis
did?
already. I accepted
Okay.
it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I accepted it yesterday. Go Aggies. But please UCLA. Anyway.
Aggies, but
UCLA. Please. Anyway, so
You guys know where to find
Worst
us.
comes, I don't have to live on campus first year, so worst comes to worst, I think
Oh,
I
right.
might get an apartment.
I have to.
It just depends. I know my parents are like, you know what, we'll figure it out. Whatever happens, happens. So.
Yeah.
I'm blessed enough to have parents who like can financially support me. So very thankful for that.
They can financially support you, but they will not let you stay in their house.
I brought it up. I was
There's already
like,
too
Mom,
many
18. It's 18K for housing. 18K
Yikes! On top of tuition.
housing
Yikes.
and food. Like that's
Yeah.
the whole plan. And I was like, you know what? Don't you guys think it's smart for me to like
Live with
stay at
y'all?
home and like commute? And then my dad was like, time is money. Cause you know you have to. It's like 45 minutes.
Money
Yeah.
Time is money. He was just
What
like,
about the
"No,
actual money?
Focus on school. Like just stay
As
there.
long
blah,
as,
blah, blah.
as long as, are they paying for your housing?
Yeah. They'll
Okay.
Okay, because
pay.
if my mom was like, no, you have to move out, like if I was gonna stay somewhere close, I'd be like, then you gotta pay for it.
Living in my car type vibes, like, cause I'm not.
And then also they brought up the argument. They were like, you cannot make it to school on time, and you live 5 minutes away. So how are you gonna make it to Davis?
I mean,
And I was like, you know, a fair point.
not them. That's a read. Like,
Call out.
Aaron, I need you to go to your college classes on time. You're gonna be living on campus.
Still gonna be late.
I was just about
No,
to say.
I am only late to classes. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say that on camera. But you know,
Don't expose
classes
yourself.
That,
Don't no. Let's start that line of thinking.
let me leave that.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to. Well, no, I'm gonna have to. Like, being early is the only
Yeah,
option
I
for
don't
me.
think you can commute, bro.
Or, well, no, because I'm gonna be
Take a
walking
plane
there.
every
So,
day.
like- oh, that's. If I lived in the tax bracket where I could,
You have your own private jet.
That's a long flight to take every single day.
it is. Even on
Girl,
a
that
private.
is a day.
Please, like, they
You know,
they
there's
would
some
never see
people-
me.
There's some people that are like, yeah, I work in LA, but I live in the Bay Area, and then just like take a plane over the weekend.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
That sounds
That's
miserable.
wild.
honestly.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's crazy to
Imagine
me.
being that rich.
Yeah.
Or you could just do
What
that.
job do you
Also,
have?
why? Do you
Also,
really not like the place?
just
like, where you
move.
live?
Somehow
Where you-
cheaper
like, what?
than buying or living in LA.
Right. I'm like, do you like the only sense that like
Well,
that
that's
makes
usually
kind of
for
sense?
People who have family, like, because why would you want to? Live
Yeah.
in places?
I'm always like, you need to have kids after you have your job settled. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Because
Yeah.
like people who have kids first and then they're like, oh snap,
have
my
to
job
figure
needs to
out
take me to
I'm
Arkansas or whatever.
Or
and it's
like the
dive
people
Back again.
who don't have jobs and then have kids.
like we're not gonna get into that, but I just think that the job should be first. The
Yeah.
finances should be set first,
For
and
sure.
then you can do whatever you want with your bodies and children. Like
No, because I feel like, you know, raising kids is a responsibility.
It's
Like,
also-
I don't think people realize how big
It
of
is-
a responsibility children
it's a
are.
whole person, a whole expensive, time-consuming person. Like it's not just a baby. Because people think, oh, I'm having a baby. No, you're having a person.
Yeah.
That's yours.
Who's gonna grow
You know,
up?
there's people who like name their babies after baby names, but
Ugh.
like
You
Yeah.
know, other
I knew a baby
country-
named Baby.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black people. Like that's just true though. What were you saying to you?
Okay, now that we've talked about
The future. a
the
lot.
future, I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
Okay, well,
Word.
Dime, you wanna take us out?
Well, thank you to everyone who was a part of this project. Thank you to you guys. Big thank you to the Solano Film Studios that
Yeah, so-
studio or film studio.
Solano Community College.
Solano Community College. Thank you to our Maryan Bria's Professor Poff. You're cool. He's right over there. And thank you for you guys for watching and supporting us.
Yeah.
I know, you know, at the beginning of this, things seemed wildly out of hand. It was like, how are we supposed to get this? And then also our goals. I think my goal was like, let's reach 1,000 followers. Like that's like
That was something you said one time.
that was one thing I said one time, but like that was still like
I don't know
even
if
though we didn't reach
anyone
that.
else was
I said that.
Well, Dime also
even
thought they
then-
had 30 Twitch.
true.
Hey, I've reached 100 once, okay?
Period. Okay.
But like it's still crazy to think of like how we've grown like as people, and then also like learning, like again, still being able to learn Photoshop and actually open it and just being able to know without having to look it up oh, Control T is how I select something, or Command T. Like, that's still, like, I'm glad we got to learn from this. So, again, thank you guys so much. Signing off for the last time of this project is us, the BOPS Squad.
Bye. Wait.
Want me to spell that?
3, 2, 1. That was
That
still
was so
not.
bad.
Okay, what are we?
3, 2, 1.